Hi, and welcome to Marshy Morgan or Marshy's Inspired Studio. If this is your first time to visit or you just hopped on here, thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. And the reason I'm doing a live today is I've had one of those mornings. Have you ever had one of those mornings where everything was going wrong, nothing, you're stranded on the side of the road, you're a little overwhelmed, and you're going, what do I do? Well, I want to just share my experience with you and leave you with some thoughts. Okay. So, first things first, my car uh, got into a fender bender because someone uh, came into oncoming traffic. They were turning left and they went right in front of all the traffic, and there was nothing to do. So, needless to say, it was not my fault. And the collision place fix my car. Okay, great. So here it is. Another month goes by. Haven't driven 500 miles in this car because I have another car. And I'm on my way to an important meeting. And I'm 40 minutes into my drive. And the car goes clunk on I-35, a major freeway. Okay. Did I run over something? Not sure what it was. Okay. There's 18 wheelers going past me. I'm like, okay, I get over. Next thing you know, on the dash cam, it says, consult safety manual. Consult the manual. I'm thinking, the manual? I'm driving. How am I supposed to get to the man? What? Makes no sense. I'm like, okay. No engine light. Just consult the manual. Okay. The next thing is there's a red light that says pull over safely. Okay. So here I am. I'm at an exit trying to get to the exit. And the car is not really going very well. And I'm thinking maybe I have a flat. Okay. Because I'm smelling something. I don't know. So I'm like, all right. But I have new tires. So that didn't make sense to me. But I'm like, okay, whatever. And next thing you know, the car stops. It will not go. I'm like, okay, here we are. We're on the middle of I-35. We're in rush hour traffic, and my butt of the car is in half in the lane of this exit lane. And it's a major exit. And I'm thinking, oh Jesus. For me to open the door, I'm putting my life in danger. I'm like, okay, it'll be all right. I'm like, let's just take this systematically. Let's breathe. Right? Let's breathe. Have you ever been there? If you've been there, you show me a heart or tell me about your experience. All right. So next thing you know, I'm trying to figure out who should I call? Should I call the people that repaired my car because the work is warranted? Is that what's wrong with the car? Or should I just call a tow truck? I'm trying to call my boyfriend that has the tow truck, AAA or whatever it's called. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure. Okay. Can't get anybody on the phone at this point. Can't find the information in my phone. Have you ever been so rushed with adrenaline that you're just like, I can barely push the buttons, right? So you have a choice at that time: panic or breathe and get centered. I chose to get centered. Now, someone stops up ahead and they start walking toward me. I thought, oh, thank goodness, right? This young man, I thought, oh, I said, you're not going to kill me, are you? And he's like, no. And I said, all right. So we pop the hood, we look, and it's got oil. It seems like it's overheating. We're not exactly sure. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll just make do with the situation. We make do with the situation. I said, what do you think? You think I should call the collision place that repaired my car? He goes, well, couldn't hurt. I said, okay, I'll call him. So I call them and they said, yeah, we'll bring you a tow truck out, but you're going to have to call them. So I call them. Well, they tell me, oh, it's going to be 3 hours me waiting in this spot. Now, this spot is not safe. The young man's like, well, I'm headed to the coffee shop. You want to wait at the coffee shop and just give them your number and have them call you back? And I'm thinking, well, 3 hours is a long time to sit there in the car. Probably not the smartest thing. So I'm like, okay. And I was just at the edge of town. I wasn't close to a gas station or anything, but I was on the edge of town. So I was like, okay. So I said, all right, I'll go with you. So I go with him. And there's a couple of things I'm trying to get across here. One, you got to keep your wits about you. When things are going wrong, you have got to conserve your energy and keep your mind clear. How do you do that? Number one, you breathe, right? Breathe and stay centered. Now, you may not know this, but I'm the author of 13 interactive challenges to self-discovery, and I do self-discovery groups. And I also wrote Grandparent Memories from the Heart. You can find those links below. All right. Now, this young man, he's talking to me on the side of the road. And of course, I can't hear very well because of the traffic going by. And so I go ahead and I go with him to the coffee shop. Now he has his own business, and he's like, because I'm talking to him and I'm consulting is basically what I'm doing for this young man. And he goes, oh, you need to make sure that you bill me. And I said, no, you've showed me kindness. I said, I know I got you a cup of coffee and a pastry, but that's not enough. You showed me kindness, and I'm going to help you however I can. And I had told him when we were on the freeway, I said, I don't know why that I couldn't get to my destination or why you stopped. I don't find things just happen. I feel like the Lord puts you where he wants you. Now, this man showed me kindness. This leads me to my second thing. Kindness has a ripple effect. Okay? I didn't charge him. And I gave him a lot of good concrete things he could do for his business. And if he's listening to me, thank you, Spencer. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Now, kindness is free. It is a frame of mind. It is an attitude. You can either choose to be kind or choose not to be. You can choose to be all angst and upset. Am I upset about my car? Well, of course I'm upset about my car, but guess what? It's a material thing. It's not a human being. So my point of what I'm trying to say is you have to stay present in the moment. So here I am now at the coffee shop waiting for the tow truck. The tow truck people call, and Spencer takes me back to my car and is so polite, walks me back to my car, makes sure I get into the tow truck. Kindness. Did he have to do that and stop in the middle of his day to do that? No, he did not, but he did. Did this help me? Yes. How did it help me? It helped me stay focused. And so I stayed in the moment for him and I helped him. Right? Okay. So we get into the next thing. He was 26. The tow truck guy is 24. He was very courteous. He said, maybe you'll want to sit outside because of that beeping sound. And it was loud in the truck. But I was like, no, I'll just stay in the truck. Thanks. And I was like, is he ever going to be done? Because it was beep, 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 beep in the truck. It was really loud. But it's really hard to get in and out of the truck. So I just stayed in the truck. But I was able to show that man kindness because no one sat down and talked to him about investments. So I was like, okay, this is wild. When I called the collision place, they didn't tell me that I had to pay for the tow truck. They paid for the tow truck. Kindness. Understand, kindness has a ripple effect. I was able to help 2 young people today because someone reached out and was kind to me. Kindness is a perpetual thing. I need y'all to understand that. But also, the other thing I want to get across from this conversation is that when you get older, especially in my age group, you start thinking, oh, young people, they're just me, 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 me. No, these were 2 young gentlemen that were very kind, very courteous, very polite. And I need you to get it that not all, you can't blanket everyone and say, oh, no one is human anymore or cares anymore. The first gentleman, I said, I want you to know your parents raised you right. Thank you so much for stopping, because he didn't have to. And I could have been in a very dangerous situation because the tow truck guy was like, oh, yeah, I had somebody in a car not too long ago in a kind of a similar situation, and someone ran right smack into the back of them. Right? So I need you to know that young people, there's still good young people out there. And the other thing I want to leave with you from this situation is stay in the moment. Even though the car was, had the flashers going, I don't know what's wrong with it and all that. I stayed in the moment with this young man, and I was listening to him and about his business and trying to help him as much as I could in this short amount of time. I gave him some really good advice. But anyway, my point is I stayed present. I stayed present with the gentleman that was driving the tow truck. Why was I staying present with him? Because he needs a little bit of guidance. No one's taken the time to talk to him about investments, right? So, was my time better suited today for those 2 things? Absolutely. Than my appointment. My appointment was important. Yeah, I would have made some money. Did I make any money today? No, but we're not supposed to build our treasure here. We're supposed to build our treasure up in heaven. And when you get in situations and you start becoming overwhelmed, this is when you have to start praying. Because when I heard the first clunk in the car, I said, okay, Lord, thank you for that hedge of protection and the angels that are surrounding me. The Lord kept me safe. The Lord brought me good people. Those 2 young men. I'm a woman of faith, and I can't explain it, but I knew that I'd be okay. Now, me getting upset, me yelling or screaming or getting angry at the repair place or any of that is not going to do you or me any good, or those other people, because you have to stay present with them. That's why I asked the guy, when I got to after the tow truck, I asked him, I said, how was your holiday? Oh, my allergies. And he's not from here. I said, oh, it's the cedar fever. He's like, cedar? I said, yeah, we have cedar trees. Oh. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that I was supposed to make this video for you. And I hope that you'll like, share, and explain a time when a young person helped you or showed you some kindness and how you could reciprocate that. And just know that there are still good people out there and that you're not alone, because I care. And if I care, there's someone out there. There's me, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there like that young guy. He put himself out there. He didn't have to stop. He was a busy man. I mean, he's got a big business and he stopped for me and he didn't have to. So just know that any act of kindness that you show is a ripple effect. It's like putting that drop in, that pebble in it. It keeps going. So be blessed. Know that you're not alone. Share with me in the comments. And I know this isn't my usual time that I post, but I just felt it on my heart that I needed to. So I'm going to leave you with that. And don't forget to get your poster below. There's a link in the description of letting go. Let go of that toxicity. We're at the beginning of the new year. We're in January of 2026. Let's get rid of some of that baggage, man. Get it off. That's why I made that poster for you. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, bye. How do I end this thing? Okay, there we go.